Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm reviewing Here. Alright, so this movie, well, the best way I can describe it is it's basically a house, right? And it's just the living room of a house. That's where the camera is the entire time, just this living room. One frame, just one. And what they do is they capture multiple generations of families in this one living room and the things that they went through, the storylines they went through, all the way from the beginning to the end, really. And that's basically the movie. You know, it's just set in a living room. They showed multiple different families. They bounce back in time from time to time. And they just show the progression of the life, the love, the separation. That's what they do in this one living room. And the director of this movie is Robert Zemeckis, if I said that right. And not gonna lie, he's worked with Tom Hanks quite a bit. You know, he did the Forrest Gump movie, Cast Away, The Polar Express, along with the Back to the Future movies. So overall, he has a solid set of movies. And for the cast of this movie, obviously Tom Hanks, Kelly Riley, Robin Wright, and Paul Bettany. I'd say those are probably all the notable actors. And looking at this movie, you know, it had a $50 million budget, and it's only projected to make around $10 million opening weekend. So I don't think it's going to hit that 50 million mark. Along with that, the runtime's an hour and 44 minutes, and it's PG-13. Now, in my theater, I'm not even joking. They were all older people. I'm not trying to diss, but they were all boomers. Like, that's just what it was. You know, you had a few couples and some people single by themselves, but this movie was just full of older people, and I think that's the audience for this movie. You know, it's directed for people who maybe don't have a lot of time, or, yeah, like, just for older people. And getting into reviews, they're not looking good either. You know, you have a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.7 on IMDb. So overall, this movie is just kind of a lower-tiered movie. It's not something that everyone's going to go watch, and it's not something that everyone's going to go enjoy. And, you know, for me personally, I saw this trailer a few times in the movies and even on commercials, and it didn't move me at all. It just doesn't look that good. Like I said, it's for older people maybe, and it's just like a, you know, maybe a more slower, kind of heart-filled movie in a way. I didn't really know what I was expecting. So I guess I kind of forgot about the trailer, but going into this, I didn't really know what to expect. And I didn't realize it was just one still shot the entire movie. Just the shot of the living room, basically the whole thing. And so that, to me, was interesting. And the transitions that they had with that, I think it was done pretty well. You know, there were some shots in here that I liked and things that they did, going from story to story, kept it interesting. You know, it wasn't just on one family, it was multiple families, and I think they did a good job of transitioning and showing different things and how they grew up. I thought that was all done pretty good. Along with that, you know, they try and really show the whole complexity of life, from the love that you can experience to the loss to just change that happens. They just try to show everything that they can, a full life, and not just one life, you know, one family's, but multiple families, how their lives have all changed just in this one house. Like this room I'm in right now, I don't know what people have went through in this room over the years. And they kind of do a good job of like showing you, man, your living room, maybe there was a lot that happened in it that you just don't recognize, you don't really take the time to notice or think about. It really makes you feel like, man, time does fly, because one day, whether I'm here or in a different house, like I'll be old, and when I pass away, no one will know I made a YouTube video in this room. You know, no one will know that. No one will know the things that happened in here, the people before them that came. So it kind of did a good job of showing that, and just the fact that time flies and really all you have is the present. And I mean, I guess the story, you know, it did a good job of keeping you invested, intrigued, like I said. The story of what happened to Tom Hanks's family and his life and everything. I mean, it was just a simple story. They didn't do anything crazy. They just told his life along with other people's lives. But I think that was another thing that I'd say was good in the movie. For the cons, like I said earlier, this is a boomer movie. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but this is a movie for older people. Like my generation, my audience, we're young, and it's just, I just don't think we can necessarily relate. Yes, we can, but at the same time, I don't think the target was for us. And with that, I think the pacing and the way that this movie is shot in one frame might be boring. To me, I was like intrigued and whatnot because I wanted to see what happened. But I think overall, the movie might be boring or slow paced to like some other people. And so that's another thing I would say. Not to mention this movie is kind of a under the radar movie. Like it's just a simple story that doesn't really pull anyone, in my opinion. Like no one's lining out to go see this. It's just under the radar, maybe a hidden gem to some people, but that's another thing. And then finally, this movie, it was going well for what it was doing. And then they had to throw in some like woke stuff. I honestly feel like it's woke. Like there was no reason they needed to put a certain scenes in, because like I said, this movie went from the past to the present, and then they even went to the future with this house. And what they do with this family, there was literally no need to do that. I just don't get why, out of all the things you could have had the family do in the future, that's what you decide to talk about, and that's what the direction you go in. I just don't understand. There's so many other things you could have done in those scenes, but I don't know. That was just something to me. I was just sitting there like, really? But yeah, that's another thing. I just think they kind of went woke, or I don't know. That was just, to me, a pointless scene. A few pointless scenes in there that honestly did not need to be there. And for me, it kind of killed the vibe for the moment, because it went from a loving family to that, and I was like, really? But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts. Overall, like I said, this movie's under the radar movie. I don't think it's going to get a lot of traction at all. Solid, like, film overall. It's okay. Like, so I'm not going to say it's bad, but nothing anyone should go jump out their seats to go watch. And with that being said, if I had to rate this, I would give it the participation award. Anyways, like I said, this is just for older people, and those are just my thoughts. But comment below what you think, and if you guys saw this, and let me know. You know, I'd be curious to see other people's opinions. And so, yeah, thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.